If you're waiting for prices to drop in Saskatoon, you might be making a huge mistake because right now we just hit another all-time high in home prices. And here's the scary part. Inventory is still near record lows heading into spring. That means more competition, more pressure, and buyers getting pushed harder than ever. But here's the twist. Not every market around Saskatoon is behaving the same way. Some areas are tightening fast, others are starting to shift. So in this video, I'm breaking down exactly what happened in March 2026, what it means for you, and how to make the right move before the market changes again. I'm Conor Palendat, Realtor with Better Real Estate Group. If you need an experienced team to help you navigate this market, my contact info is in the description below. Let's zoom out first and look at the big picture across Saskatchewan. Right now, the entire province is dealing with one main issue. We don't have enough homes for sale. Inventory is sitting under 3 months of supply, which is more than 50% below normal levels. And when supply drops like that, prices do not stay flat, they rise. That's exactly what we're seeing. The benchmark price across Saskatchewan just hit $374,100, up over 6% year over year. Now, here's what makes this even more interesting. Sales aren't exploding right now. They're actually fairly stable, which tells us something very important. This is not a demand-driven spike. This is a supply problem. There simply aren't enough homes available for the current number of buyers in the market. And until that changes, prices will keep pushing higher. Now, let's talk about what's happening right here in Saskatoon. In March alone, we saw 388 homes sell, which is actually slightly down year over year, but still above the 10-year average. So demand is still strong, but there's a different story. We only have about 1.6 months of supply in Saskatoon right now. And I can't stress, but that is astronomically low. To put that into perspective, a balanced market is around 4 to 6 months of supply. We are nowhere close to those numbers, and it gets tighter. Out of the 638 listings on the market, nearly 200 are already conditionally sold, which means buyers are really competing over closer to 440 active homes total, which includes new builds on the MLS not yet completed. So overall, this is just incredibly tight. And because of that, we just hit a new all-time high benchmark price of $435,200, up 5% year over year. So what does that mean in real life? Well, homes are selling fast, multiple offers are still common, and buyers are feeling serious pressure, especially in that $450,000 to $650,000 range, which is where most of the competition sits. If you're a buyer watching this, you're probably feeling it already. This is one of the tightest Saskatoon markets we've seen in years. Now, let's shift just outside of Saskatoon to Martensville, because this market is telling a slightly different story. In March, they saw 14 sales, 22 new listings, and only 15 active listings total. And because of that, months of supply is sitting around 1.07, which is even tighter than Saskatoon, if that's even possible. Prices reflect that. The benchmark price is now $441,100, up over 6% year over year. But here's where it gets interesting. Sales are actually down, which again supports the same trend we're seeing provincially. This isn't about demand going crazy because spring has hit and buyers are coming out in full force. It's about a limited supply pushing prices up. So in Martensville, if the right home comes up, it gets attention fast. Finally, let's look at Warman, because this is where things start to shift a bit. In March, they saw 24 sales, 34 new listings, and 58 active listings. So inventory is higher here compared to Martensville, and months of supply is sitting around 2.4 months. Still, absolutely a seller's market, but less extreme. Prices are still climbing though, as the benchmark price is now $521,600, which is up over 8% year over year. So Warman is in this interesting middle ground. More inventory than other markets, slightly less pressure, but still very strong price growth. For buyers, this might actually be one of the more strategic areas to look at right now. Alright, so let's break this down into what it all actually means for you. If you're a buyer, and this is just the honest truth, waiting is very risky right now. Prices are not rising because of hype, but because of a real shortage of homes. If inventory doesn't improve this spring, which there are no indications it will in a meaningful way, you're likely buying in a more competitive, more expensive market later. If you're a seller, this is your window. Low inventory means more eyes on your home, more leverage, and stronger offers. But pricing still matters. The homes that win right now are the ones priced properly from day one. If you price your home incorrectly off the bat, we are seeing those homes sit for an extended period of time. So pricing is still a key. If you're an investor, this is still a supply-driven market, but that's important because supply shortages tend to last longer than demand spikes. So rents stay strong, prices stay supported, and long-term fundamentals remain solid. And if you're moving to Saskatoon, this is one of the most competitive markets you'll step into right now. But it's also still one of the most affordable cities in Canada relative to income. So the opportunity is absolutely still here. You just need the right plan before you jump in. Here's the bottom line. Saskatoon and surrounding markets are not slowing down. They are tightening, and that's pushing prices higher fast. The biggest mistake we're seeing right now across the board, people are waiting for a correction that may not come. If anything, the next few months will depend on one thing. Does inventory show up or not? If it doesn't, this market is only going to get more competitive. There's just no way to get around that. So if you're thinking about buying, selling, or even just trying to figure out what your next move in this crazy market might be, let me know. And if you found this video helpful, give it a like, subscribe, and share it with a friend who's interested in any of these markets. Thanks for watching and have a great day.